happy Sunday. So we're gonna talk about creating a busy box. Now, a busy box is just that. It is a box that keeps your kids busy. You can have individual busy boxes. You can have a busy box that is more of a family busy box. So each month, what we do in our home, we do an individual busy box because I just have Glory. And so what I'll do is at the beginning of the month, she gets her new busy box. It's only 3 steps, so step 1 to 3 on how we put it together. What we have found is this allows our daughter to be able to, 1, stay busy when, for example, I work from home. So if you're somebody that works from home and you need pockets of quiet time, either throughout the day or throughout the week, you bring out the busy box, they're excited for it, and this keeps them busy while you are getting done what you need done. So this is equally perfect for the holidays. Most of us have parties that we're planning, we have things that we're baking for, so sometimes we just need something to where our kids are not underfoot the entire time. And it is very, very easy to say, okay, go watch TV. But unfortunately, that rolls over day after day, week after week. And before we know it, the TV is babysitting our kids. And that is something that I don't want to fall into the trap, but I know how easy it is. So that's where the busy box was really born for our family. Another way that you would be able to use the busy box is maybe you are homeschooling, but you have a toddler or 2 that are not old enough to actually sit and participate in school yet, but they also need to be entertained. So this is where a busy box could really benefit your family. The last way that I have down here is if you're trying to cut back on television with your kids. So maybe you did not get a good start on this, and maybe your kids do consume just entirely too much TV or video games or iPad time or fill in the blank. So this is something that maybe you can utilize to cut back on the TV time without just quitting cold turkey, because it's really hard to take something away from a child without replacing it. And this is actually not just children. It would go to any type of an addiction, because the TV absolutely becomes an addiction. It becomes a crutch, it becomes a vice, whatever word you want to put in there. So as someone who has struggled with addiction as a teenager and as an adult, not TV, like an actual addiction, it is very hard to just quit something without replacing it with something that's good. So that's the idea behind the busy box when it comes to cutting TV time out. It's you're doing little by little. So first thing I would do is I would actually sit down and say, okay, how much screen time is my kid getting every single day? And it might shock you. I did this with a mom, and now her son is not in school yet. So this would be far less if your kids are in school, but her son's not in school. Her son is 4, and her son was consuming anywhere from 8 to 12 hours per day of TV time. So at that point, you're not going to take the busy box and expect it to entertain them for 8 to 12 hours. You're going to take the busy box and expect it to entertain them for 30 to 90 minutes. You want to have realistic expectations with this, but it absolutely can be used to wean your kids off of television. Now, again, the beginning of the month, my daughter gets her box. She absolutely loves it. I'm going to show you not only how we create it, how we put it together, what we put inside of it, and then I'm going to show you her reaction because she's getting hers today. She's actually, I'm in the office and she's waiting in like the little living room area. I would say patiently, but she's really not. She probably has her ear to the door trying to figure out what's inside this box because she loves it so much. Now, oh, you know what? Listen, I normally do an intro in here, so most of you know me, so I'm not really going to do a big intro, but my name is Tanya. I am the founder of the Boss Mom Co. And what I did is I founded a company to help moms who were functioning at the highest possible level when it comes to just being a productive mom. And they're running businesses and they're raising babies and they're doing all the things simultaneously, which causes you to just be a very high functioning person. What I found is usually they're also raising high functioning kids. The problem with that is society almost puts a damper on that. Like laziness is almost rewarded and encouraged with everything that is put in front of us to kind of like numb our brains instead of stimulate them. So what I found is by creating a product called the BossKids Character Kit, we were able to launch that into a full-fledged busy box. And a lot of our clients who are moms who have the business planners that we have and the homeschool planners that we have, and that have enrolled in the different courses that we offer on teaching moms how to make money from home without joining any kind of like an MLM or a network marketing that they also, it was kind of a no-brainer that they're also buying these BossKids Character Kits and turning them into busy boxes for their own family. So, kind of how this was brought about, there's nothing magical about this, it's just a box that our kids love and that we love, knowing that they're getting brain stimulation instead of brain numbing. So, kind of how it came about. Now, like I said, we usually give this out the first of every month to our daughter. The exception is on November and December. So November, we typically give it to her the last day, or the last day after Thanksgiving, the first day after Thanksgiving, that's what I'm trying to say. So whatever the day after Thanksgiving is, that's when we give it to her, because our December box is always a Christmas themed box. So obviously I want her to get the most out of it. So she gets it the day after Thanksgiving so she can use it all the way up until Christmas. And then for the January box, she gets it the day after Christmas, because no longer is she wanting to do all the Christmas things. And it's usually like a winter themed box. So those are the only two exceptions. Aside from that, she does get her boxes the first of every month. So there's only 3 steps to this. You pick it, you plan it, you pack it. That's it. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're just gonna pick your box. Now, our box for this month, let me scoot back a little bit, is this really awesome Christmas box. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I went during their Black Friday sale. I paid $3 for this. So at our house, because it doesn't even have to be a box, guys. It can be a crate, it can be a bin, it can be a stackable, like some stackable drawers. It can be whatever you want it to be. You don't have to go and buy anything fancy, but you can. You literally get to do whatever you want to do with this, and it's so fun. It's literally like Christmas morning, the first of every single month. It's awesome. So what I like to do is, for Christmas, we do the Christmas box. Now at the house, what we did is we just had a bin. It was like a crate, and so we would fill that every single month. So we just used it every month. It wasn't anything special, and it just sat in our classroom. Now the trick with the busy box is it only comes out when you want it to come out. It is not a free-for-all. Your kid does not get this box and get to do whatever they want whenever they want. When you need to sit down and have an hour of work time that you need them to be occupied, hey, let's pull out the busy box. When maybe you are having issues with them getting their homework done on time or their chores done on time, hey, I'm gonna set a timer. If you can get the dishes done in 30 minutes, you get 30 minutes with the busy box. You can use it as leverage for literally anything. So that's the trick, because if it's a free-for-all, it loses the allure, it loses the appeal for your child. If you're only bringing it out when you want to bring it out, then instead of saying, oh man, I've got to bake these cookies for this party next week, I just need you to go watch TV. Can you just watch TV and be quiet? Instead you're saying, hey, I need to bake these cookies. Well, first off, baking cookies probably isn't a great example, because typically bring your kid with you, let them bake with you, like use that as time to bond. Even if they're little, I know it causes more work than anything else, but plan accordingly and let them bake with you because they love that. That's a whole different thing. But, so let's see. Now, can you use baking cookies? You know what, maybe it is baking cookies. Maybe it's baking cookies and you ran out of time, or maybe you overcommitted, because I've done that more than once. So you need to bake them fast. Like, you don't have time for little hands to be messing in the dough and trying to eat chocolate chips off the plate. So hey, we're gonna pull out the busy box. You get to sit over wherever you let your kids do like crafts and stuff, and you get to do an hour with the busy box while mommy cooks. How does that sound? Like, your kids are gonna love it. Now again, if TV is the natural babysitter in your house, it's gonna take a little while. You're going to absolutely need to give them grace, give yourself grace. It may take a few months, even 6 months to a year, depending on how attached your child is to the television, before it works as well as it does for someone who does this from the time their kid's little all the way up. But I promise you, it works as long as you just work the system. And again, give yourself grace if you are replacing TV with the busy box. So step 1 is pick it. You're just gonna pick whatever box you wanna put it in. Now again, it could be a crate. Now that we have downsized from a house and we moved across the country and we're in an apartment, purposely I'm doing a box like this because it can slide underneath my daughter's desk or underneath her bed. So I want something that does not take up any space. So you get to plan that with boxes. So again, this one is easy. Christmas, it's super easy to find a box for December. But what I like to do is you can order like a themed box for every single month if you want to. What I personally like to do is I get a plain box like this, and you can buy them on Amazon. You just want to get one that is at least 8 by 11 to fit like a normal piece of paper. This one, okay, this one is like 16 by 11, so this is pretty big, and this is the size I suggest if you're going to get an actual box. But what you can do is you can get a plain white one. You can get some Sharpies if you are creative. If not, I'm going to give you an idea in a minute. If you're creative, get some Sharpies. Decorate it for your kid, put their name on it, draw some things, put some stickers. Just make it a fun box that you reuse every single month. So you buy it once, every month you get the old stuff out, the new stuff in. Now if you're like, Tanya, I'm not creative, it would look like a child did it, then let your child do it. Give them the plain box, give them some Sharpies or some stickers or both, and you can either let them decorate it themselves or you can do it with them, and you can have a fun little sit-down project. Maybe put some music on, maybe put an audiobook on, maybe just talk. And you can sit and you can color a box that you're gonna use for a busy box for the rest of the year. So, again, you get to pick, but step one is just pick it. Pick a box or a bin or a crate or something and decide that is gonna be what you do as a busy box every single month. Now, step two is you're gonna plan it. So the freebie I have for you today is actually a busy box builder. So you get to walk through building the busy box every single month. So the first thing you're gonna do is decide, do you wanna have a theme? I do have themes for mine. I love theming things. Now you don't have to. My theme right now is Christmas. January is typically winter. February is typically Valentine's Day or like lovey-dovey stuff. March, we typically do a mix of St. Patrick's Day and spring. The same with April, it's a mix of Easter and spring because typically those holidays are in the middle of the month. So then you want to have some spring activities for after the holidays passed. May is typically just spring and flowers and butterflies and all the fun things. June, we typically do summer, so lots of beach stuff and pool stuff. July, we do a whole patriotic thing for the 4th of July. August, we typically just do like a fun back to school thing, so some back to school little activities. September, we usually do fall. And the reason we typically do fall is because October, we do Halloween the whole month. November, we specifically do like gratitude and Thanksgiving and that kind of stuff, pretty much the whole month. And then day after Thanksgiving, we get our December box. So that's typically what I do. And our BossKids Character Kits also follow those themes. So that's why it's really easy to have the character kit as your starter pack, which brings me to my next thing is you want to have a starter pack or decide. Actually, you don't have to have a starter pack. Some people build their busy box completely from scratch. Some people use a starter pack. So I'm actually gonna show you what's in mine as well as what the starter pack looks like, and then you you can build yours from there. But the busy box builder only has a couple steps in there. You're gonna decide if you have a theme. You're gonna go ahead and decide if you want a starter pack and what that looks like for you. You may pick the BossKids Character Kit. You may pick something else. There's so many awesome options out there that you can kind of Google what you want your starter pack to be. And then you can pick a whole bunch of different activities as well.
So I've got my box here, and the first thing I'm going to do is put in my starter pack, which I do use the BossKids Character Kit. And what I do is I laminate these sheets that would ordinarily be printed every week because I don't want to print them every week. So I laminate them. I just use some laminator sheets off Amazon. They're very cheap. And that way I use some dry erase markers, which we're going to put in here since we haven't done the box for a few months. I don't know if my kids' dry erase markers even made it to the new apartment. But that way we can go ahead and erase them every week and start over without having to print new sheets. And then we have all of the fun sheets that come in this month's kit. So we've got a maze and some tic-tac-toe and some decorating the Christmas tree with cookies. There's a fun Christmas word scramble. I've got a cute little letter to Santa in there because I just think it's a fun time of year to do that. And then we've got some coloring sheets. And then, like I said, we've got like the chore charts and stuff like that that are laminated that go in there as well. And then from there, I like to add in some craft kits. So what I do is I go to the store right after Christmas every year and I get all of their like 75% off Christmas items. Now I do go and get a few new things each year as well. If there's something that I want to grab in there. But a lot of these do come from the year before, so that's also something that you may want to do, is put in some things that you get on sale the previous year, so you're not spending a ton of money to make up these boxes, but you do have a really nice busy box at the end of, or a busy box at the beginning of each month. So you can see some of these coloring items, they were left over from last year. So we are putting them in the box this year, and I've got some cute little sticker faces. Anything left over from last year's holiday parties, we're also putting into the box. So she hasn't seen them for a year. To her, they're brand new. And then we always go to the dollar store, get a few little things there as well. I put some tissue paper on top, stick the lid on, and then I've got my busy box.
Okay, so you've seen everything that's in our December busy box. Again, every month is going to be different. You get to have so much fun. Again, I just can't explain how fun this is. And then I'm going to actually let Lori come in here and you can see her reaction to it. You can see her opening it. It's amazing to watch how much fun she's having. Now, my daughter's 8. So like I said, this is now completely packed. Everything is in it. It's nice and pretty, just like you saw. So when she comes in and opens it, you're gonna see how excited she gets. It's like opening a present. And you could actually individually wrap these. I don't do that, but you could do, like you could go extra. Now my daughter's 8, so she's in 3rd grade, and this works beautifully for her. It has worked for her since she was about 3. This is something we've always been very minimal on screen time. And when people ask me, well, how, like, what do you let your kid do then? Like, when you need quiet time, what does she do? And my answer always is, well, she just entertains herself. But it wasn't until probably the last 2 years, I was like, okay, she entertains herself because I cultivate some entertainment for her. So yes, she entertains herself, but it's because I put stuff out for her to entertain herself with. So it's not just kids don't magically entertain themselves, they're just like adults. They're entertained by whatever their surroundings are. So we're working on developing character, and in our home, that means learning how to entertain yourself without sitting and zoning out in front of the screen. Now, I wanted to tell you her age because this works for toddler, like small toddlers, all the way up through teenagers if you do them correctly. Now, your box for, I don't know, a 14-year-old boy is going different than my box for an 8-year-old girl. That's why I said you can do family boxes, but if you have kids of wide ages, you want to do individual boxes for the reason I just said. All your kids are going to have different themes and different fun things that they think are fun. Now, I want to give you an example because I have a mom that I work with. She has a 15-year-old boy and a 16-year-old girl that she does busy boxes with. Now, she doesn't call them a busy box. She doesn't have them come in the first of the month and they get to open their busy box and, oh, Mom, I love this, and I'm going to open the tissue paper. They're too cool for that. Instead, at the beginning of the month, they just get this really cool box full of things to do. There's not a name for it. There's no cute unwrapping. It's like, hey, here's your December box, so you have like some stuff to keep your mind busy with. Now, she still does themes just like I do as far as like Christmas and 4th of July and patriotic and all that stuff. But she always has an underlying theme as well. So I know 1 month for her son, because he loves to build things. Like, we're pretty sure he's going to be an engineer. I don't know 1,000%. I know kids can change their minds. But right now, that's what he wants to do. And so what she does is she starts her starter kit. Is typically a pretty big Lego kit because she knows it's going to take him a little while to put it together. And then she supplements with some kind of underlying theme. So if the Lego kit maybe is Avengers, because I know he's really into Avengers right now. Apparently that's a big thing for teenage boys. Then she has maybe a couple activity sheets for him to do. Anything that she thinks would interest him. I know he's really into coding, I think. So there's some different like coding boxes and stuff out there that she can order. She fills it with things that would benefit him, that would help keep him busy without, okay, go play video games, go sit in front of a screen, go fill in the blank. Now her daughter wants nothing to do with Legos, but she's really into crafting, so typically her starter kit will be some kind of an art kit. I know 1 month, because I saw her do this on Facebook and I was so jealous, my daughter's not quite into this yet, she did a candle making box. So everything in it was all kinds of supplies to make candles. She had a book that was like lots and lots of candles, and they eventually started selling them. I don't think they do it full-fledged as a business. I think they just did it to friends and family, but she had so many and they were really, really pretty that she sold them, made a little bit of money off of it as well. I know she's done diamond paintings, and guys, I get it, okay? It is easier to say, go watch TV or go play a video game. It's not easy to spend a little extra money to put a kit like this together. And it's also not easy to spend the extra time because usually what happens is when they get this kit, again, toddler all the way through teenager, it's kind of a double-edged sword because some of the stuff they want you to sit and do with them. So yes, it's a busy box for them when you need it to be, but also it's a relationship building box. And again, for your teenager, you're not gonna present it like that because it's not cool anymore. But absolutely, let's say you have a daughter that loves Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I would have loved this as a teenager. And maybe you fill it full of Harry Potter stuff. Some of it she can do independently. Well, she can physically do all of it independently because she's a teenager. But maybe some of it you purposely put in there, stuff that you guys can do together. And you can, maybe there's a game or two in there that's Harry Potter based that you can do together. And if you're somebody who you're like, okay, my teenager doesn't want to do anything with me, now's the time to start. I get it. I worked with hundreds and hundreds of parents of teenage girls that the relationship is already broken. Building it and repairing it, it's not easy. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that giving your kid a box in the first month is just gonna completely revolutionize your own whole relationship. I will tell you that it can get on the path to rebuilding that relationship. And again, as juvenile as it sounds, it's a box full of activities. That's not my kid. It's a box full of activities, but it really can make all the difference in your relationship. So let's bring Lori in and let's see what she thinks about this month's box.
Where's the scratch off? Stickers.
What do you like? Do you like those?
Tic-tac-toe. I can trace on the back.
Mm-hmm. That's Dear Santa.
It's the Dear Santa. What's this?
It's a word scramble.
Christmas word. Can I read again? Yes!
All right, so what do you think about this month's busy box?
I like it.
What's your favorite part of it? Hard to pick, huh? I think I know which one you're going for. You can't pick? That's okay, you like all of it?
Yeah. Well, my most favorite color is
That's what I thought, it'd be the scratch off book. All right, tell everybody Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.